आप सभी को बहुत बहुत नमस्कार। स्पाइस जेट 245 में आपका स्वागत है। ये उड़ान हम बैंगलोर से स्टार्ट करेंगे और एक कूल चक्कर मार के बैंगलोर पे लैंड कर जाएंगे। दिस इज़ अ बोइंग 737 एयरक्राफ्ट। देखिए कितना सुंदर है। अनफॉर्चुनेटली मेरा FPS अच्छा रन नहीं कर रहा है रिकॉर्डिंग के साथ, सो व्हाट आई कांट डू इज़ आई कांट posh this up to good graphics and show you. But for now, this is good enough. And this is our cockpit. Looks neat. We'll go through all the processes that we'll do in order to start off this engine, and we'll do them together. Okay, so it will be like we are flying together. Okay, so first of all, what do I need? I need the ground services. Okay, some car is parked here. I don't know what this is for. This should technically be for the pilot, right? The car. Anyway, I'll connect the GPU, which is the ground power unit, which will give me the power, the electrical power to start off all these instruments. And I'll also set the chocks. We'll open a door. We'll also open the forward and aft cargo because we'll require that. Let me call the ground services. And I'll extend the staircase. Thank you, thank you. So I've extended the staircase. Okay. Other than this, for now, I think we are okay. So what's the first thing that we need to do is we need to set the master DC to on. Okay. This is my ground power. For now, I'll need to take up power from the ground, which is the GPU. So I'll set this to on. यहाँ पे मेरे इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स में लाइट आनी शुरू हो गई है. Side by side, what I need to do is, before I start off with anything else, I need to set up the IRS, which is the initial reference system, I guess. I'm just setting the alignment time to short right now for the video. And how do I set the IRS? I'll go to this panel over here. This is a IRS panel. And ये कुछ अजीब सा है, अलाइन करने के बाद वो करना पड़ता है. I'll set both of these to nav, and once both of them are set to align, which it will do automatically, I will set this status to HDG STS, that is heading status, I think. Okay, yes, so it will be set up in 1 minute. In the meanwhile, what I need to now do is I'll start the APU, which is the auxiliary power unit, and to do that, this is the switch right here. For that, I first need to start off one of the fuels. I don't need the rest of them to be on right now. This is okay. I'll press it down for 3 seconds and we'll see the APU starting off. This is telling us that the exhaust, it's the exhaust gas temperature for the APU. Once it starts off, you get to know कि हाँ APU मेरा run होना शुरू हो गया. What APU is? APU is located in the back of the aircraft, right here. So this section at the tail is the APU, and it takes in wind and transforms it into electrical energy. तो वो जो गैस थी वो टेल से जो गैसेस निकल रही हैं उसका टेम्परेचर बता रहा है वो. And it first rises, then it gradually comes down to an idle state. It is at that point that we can start off our APU bar. So it has now reached a good state, and you can see the lights have showed up here, which implies we can now draw power from APU. So I will turn these on, and now we don't need the ground power anymore, so we can send them back. So if we can see, this is the ground power unit over here in the front. These are the two conveyor belts for luggage. This is the fueling truck, and this is the APU which is giving me the ground power. Okay. Um, for the realism's sake, let's start off our leg, which would then start off some noise in the background. यस यस, नमस्ते नमस्ते, मैं हूं आपका पायलट। हाँ जी, ये देखिए हमारे पैसेंजर्स बैठ गए हैं, शोर मचना शुरू हो गया है। ये मैं अपना बंद कर दूंगा कॉकपिट, मेरे को इतने लोगों की आवाज़ नहीं सुननी है। ओके, where were we? अच्छा, आईआरएस हमारा सेट करना है अब हमें। आईआरएस की पोजीशन आ गई है, यहाँ पे मुझे बता रहा है कि आई शुड एंटर आईआरएस पोजीशन, सो आई विल गो देयर। I'll set up the FMC, position initialization, set IRS code. I'll go to the next page. यहाँ पे हमने अपने IRS से जो position pick की है वो मैं copy कर लूँगा, previous page में जाऊँगा और यहाँ पे set कर दूँगा. So we are good. Once the IRS is set, we'll start seeing our direction in the screen, and this will pop up. See, good. Okay. So what do we need now? Do we need anything? Actually, yes, a lot of things. Once the APU has started off, and actually because we have what do I say, passengers on the flight, we should be technically switching on these. We'll switch on APU bleed. What will this will do is this will take in the exhaust air and recirculate it into the cabin. And I have not switched on the cabin packs yet, which implies कि वो जो recirculation में air आ रही है, it is not going to the cabin, to the passengers yet. So I'll turn these on, and now the passengers can have the AC working for them. बेचारे घुट के मर गए होंगे तब से. Also, we need to turn on the window heat. I'll do that, and I'll turn on the hydraulics. So these hydraulics help me move these flaps at the back of the wings. If you can see, these are the flaps. So now if I were to turn on the flaps down, my hydraulics are not ready yet. Oh, they are turning on slowly. So if you were to see, these flaps are extending now, and this changes the shape of the wing, and that will affect how much of drag and lift do I get. It also changes the shape in the front of the wing. So this is now fully extended. This is, I think, at about 40 degrees. Oh, no, not yet. Now this is at about 40 degrees, and see the wing which we consider to be absolutely flat, it actually changes so much of shape. If you were to see, it is almost a C, a curve right now. For now, these were just for show purposes. I'll put them back to the initial position. We'll need to start off at 5 degrees for a takeoff, but for now we are good. Okay, so what is left? काफी boring काम है वैसे, but it's a long checklist of things that you need to do. But it's interesting once you start getting a hang of it. It's good. I'll arm the emergency lights. ठीक है. I think we can remove the chocks, and I'll also ask for we can disconnect the GPU. I'll ask for a better pushback.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
Okay, so I would like to head in this direction because we have to go to the runway from there. So we'll push back and we'll align ourselves like this. Okay, exactly like this. This is how I would like to head. Please.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Thank you. In the meanwhile, no, this is a slow process. Huh? The tow will show up, it will connect. There's a long line. We have a few things to check in the meanwhile. we have to turn on the fuel pumps yet. That is okay. We will be flying at 6,000 or 8,000 altitude, so we'll set that up in the pressurization instrument here. And the landing altitude will be 1,500. Good. Um, okay. We don't need engine bleed yet. Not that it affects much. अच्छा हाँ हमारे दरवाजे खुले हुए हैं. So if you were to see, we can see in this panel over here what doors are open, and we are told that our forward entry and the cargo doors are open. So I think it's time we should close that. We have had enough of ground services. We'll remove the stairs and we'll close the entry door. Sorry passengers, जो नहीं चढ़ पाया है उसको टाटा बाय बाय. Catch next flight. We need to be timely. Um, okay. Cool. We are good. Fuel pumps on कर देते हैं. मैं भूल जाऊंगा बाद में. देखें बाहर हमारे टो का क्या हाल चाल है. So the tow is getting connected, as you see. This will push us back and place us right where we need to be. And you see, this is actually a very good tow machine that somebody has created in this game. It's a mod, actually, not the plain vanilla one. And I wish I could.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
So now this will try to connect to my front wheel, and what it will do is it will grab it like this and raise it, pick it up. Not a lot, but just enough so that it's not on the ground. And after that, this tow unit, this machine that I'm talking about, this will push our aircraft back and align however we planned earlier. So the first thing here is it has to grab hold of the. Actually, if I can zoom here, right? अरे यार इसका अच्छा कैमरा सिस्टम नहीं समझ में आ रहा मुझको. I wish I could zoom in that point. यार मेरा वो आ गया होगा यहाँ पे तो थंबनेल खुद का ये शक्ल दिख रही होगी आपको. So it will grab hold of that wheel over there, and now it will raise it. And once we are ready, they will ask me to remove the parking brakes, which are for the rear wheels, and we will be ready.
And bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Perfect. So he has asked me to release the parking brakes. Once I do that, he can now start pushing me back. Meanwhile, now that we will be starting off our pushback, we'll also start the engines. So, do we have a good... Yes, we seem to have a good pressure. I'll start off. Okay, now that we start off the pressure, it's not very convenient because the pressure drops and the engine will not start. So for that, what we'll need to do is we'll turn off the air conditioning unit for now. And what that will do is it will help us gain some pressure here. We have turned off one air conditioning unit, the other one is still on, so the passengers, I hope, will not be suffocated. But that IC is not helping us, right? Because we don't have a good pressure here. We need to have at least 30 psi, which is round about there, but not exactly there. So we'll turn off the right pack as well. And now you see left engine has started off. It is trying to gain some power. Good enough. Once this reaches 25, I need to take the fuel here and put it to idle. So yes, it's 25 now. I'll set this to idle, and now our first engine, the left engine, will go to good power, and we'll wait for it. By the way, so far our aircraft instruments are running on APU power, right? The auxiliary power unit that we explained at the tail. What we now need to do is we need to eventually turn the APU off. Why? Because we'll discuss. So you see the left engine is now at good thrust, it's at good power, and the right will be starting off in a while because I've already the right is not sent to ground, sorry, my bad. The right will start off now, and what we can actually do is, because the left engine has already started working and it is taking in air and pushing it back for thrust purposes, we can use that air to generate electricity, and that is what we will do. We'll switch on the left generator here. This will now start drawing power, drawing electricity from the engine itself, which has a generator inside it. Um, okay, this is 25. This to idle. Yes, so now that we are starting to take power from the left engine, we can technically switch off our APU because we don't need it anymore. So what I'll do is I'll turn off the APU, and once our engine is up and running, we will start drawing power from this one as well. Okay, we are good. I'll turn on this generator on the right. Perfect. And yes, I can now turn back the air conditioning units. At least our passengers will feel a bit good. For these conditioning units to work, I need to set on the engine bleed to on, and the APU bleed I can set off now. My APU is off anyway. Okay, and we are good to go. Actually, what about our ये start क्यों नहीं हुआ? I thought
Starting pushback.
अरे इसने तो pushback क्यों नहीं start किया था? मैं तो तब से सोच रहा था pushback चल रहा है. Fuck, I was supposed to start these engines during the pushback. I've been wasting fuel. That sucks, huh? I didn't realize that. See, that's what happens when you're playing a simulator and it's not happening in real. Okay, I'll turn on the anti-collision lights and the position strobe lights. Ground sources up disconnected. हाँ. ठीक है. Good enough. Okay, I think we are good with everything now. सब कुछ setup है. हमारा engine वगैरह सब start हो चुका है and everything else looks good. We are not missing out on anything. We could be. I mean, maybe a real pilot does a lot more than what I just did. We'll have to see. I just need to learn more. Okay. हाँ जी, थैंक यू जी मैडम जी. आप हैं तो हैं नहीं, कहीं कहाँ बाहर से बोल रही हो तुम? कितनी इल मैनर्ड हो यार. दरवाज़ा खोल के तो बात कर लो कम से कम. बताइए. दरवाजे के पीछे से ही बता रही हैं, कुछ चाहिए तो बता देना. खैर, मास्टर क्वेश्चन ऑफ कर देते हैं. हमारा पुशबैक अभी चल रहा है धीमे 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 धीमे. So what we have asked him to do is he will align us like this. इस तरफ हमारी tail होगी और इस तरफ हमारा मुंह होगा, so that we can head in that way. Actually, I think I did wrong. I could have gone this way as well. Same difference. That's a strange term. Same difference. धीमे धीमे चलो भैया. बहुत slow है भाई. I mean, if I wasn't recording, this would have been a lot more convenient, but मेरे को कॉकपिट में बैठ के रिकॉर्डिंग करनी थी. अरे हमने सर्विस की ऑन बोर्ड वगैरह स्टार्ट ही नहीं किया था. कोई बात नहीं, चलो एटलीस्ट लेट्स वेलकम द पैसेंजर्स ऑन बोर्ड एज अ गुड मैनर्ड पायलट. हल्लू हल्लू. हेलो 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 हेलो। ये यहाँ पे 6 दिखा रहा है बट दिस इज यूटीसी टाइम which is the GMT Greenwich Meridian time, so this is not what we need. um, को local time चाहिए which is 11:30 right now AM, and that is what we need. अच्छा, ये हमारा ऑटो पायलट सिस्टम है, जस्ट इन केस समबडी इज क्यूरियस। ये पूरा सेक्शन कॉकपिट में सामने वाला, दिस इज ऑटो पायलट। इसको बाद में बताते हैं। ये स्पीड है, आई कैन सेट ऑफ व्हाट बेसिकली आई कैन डू इन ऑटो पायलट इज आई कैन सेट ऑफ द स्पीड कि मैं कितनी स्पीड चाहता हूँ। आई कैन सेट ऑफ व्हाट डायरेक्शन आई वांट टू मूव इन। आई कैन आल्सो सेट ऑफ एट व्हाट एल्टीट्यूड आई वांट टू रीच and stabilize. So technically I don't really need to do anything from my end much. All I need to do is set in these values in the autopilot and that's it. But then somebody has to do that, and that would be me. um, we can maybe set up a tutorial for these things some other day. Actually there are a lot of them available already. I don't really need to do much unless you want something in Hindi, तो मैं आपके लिए available हूँ और हम ट्यूटोरियल बनाएंगे हिंदी में। ठीक है, तो अलाइन हम हो चुके हैं, परफेक्ट, बहुत बढ़िया अलाइनमेंट। अरे बस भाई, कितना परफेक्ट करेगा यहाँ। आमिर खान ग्राउंड हैंडलर आ गया क्या यहाँ पे? I just needed the direction, mate. You don't have to move me around that much. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. अरे अरे अरे, नहीं 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 नहीं, ट्रिम करने लगा था यार, ये प्रॉब्लम कर देगा ये चीज़। Okay.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay. धीमे धीमे करेगा ये बेचारा, करता रहे। अपन और क्या क्या देख सकते हैं। ये लाइट सिस्टम है, जस्ट इन केस एनीबडी इज क्यूरियस। ये अपने वाइपर है, देखो कार की तरह, देख रहे हैं आप? टा टा टा। ये एक अकेली चीज़ है इस पूरे कॉकपिट में जो कि आपको देख के कार की तरह फेमिलियर लगेगी कि हाँ भाई ये मैंने देखा है पहले, वाइपर चलते हुए देखा है हमने, दिस इज गुड। ओके, टैक्सी हम कॉकपिट के अंदर से नहीं करेंगे, बोर हो जाता हूँ मैं, तो टैक्सी हम बाहर से करेंगे बैठ के। हमें जाना है वहाँ पे, इस रनवे पे। ओके, चल भाई, कितना धीमा आदमी है वैसे। एक्चुअली रियल भी शायद टोइंग इतनी स्लो होती है। यस, लेट्स डिस्कनेक्ट because it's a heavy machine. We are taking up the entire aircraft, picking it up, and you have to put it down, so it has to be a slow process. You can't do it very quick. um yes, our tool is not moving out of the way. ये भाई, मैं बहुत देर से बैठा हूँ भाई, एक टेक ऑफ नहीं ले पाया मैं तब से। चलना, हटना प्लीज ना।
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Okay, thank you, ground. Can you please move out of my way? Thank you. It's good that I'm not a real pilot because I would have been a rude motherfucker, and that would have been bad. It's not a good behavior. But for now, I'm talking to inanimate things, which they are actually animated. They are not inanimate, but they are not real. And I can start off now. I'll remove the parking brakes. I've increased my thrust, and my aircraft has started to move. Yippee! बहुत तेज नहीं मूव करेंगे हम। In my early stages of this simulation, I was very inclined on moving very fast through the taxiways, but I have realized that that's a stupid decision to take. Holy shit, wait. My nose scale is not working, something is wrong. Wait, let me set off the setting properly. Why are you not working, macha? चल तो रहे हो यार तुम ऐसे, लेकिन सच में नहीं चल रहे हो, तुम झूठ बोल रहे हो. So let me just set this off again. I need to set it to roll. Yes, thank you. And now everything should be fine. This is just a glitch in Zibo which I face a lot, and that's okay. It's a good play otherwise. Uh, can we turn now? Are we able to turn now? Why the fuck am I not able to turn? Ah, now I can. Yes. So we can turn now. We are able to turn. We'll turn right and head straight to our runway, which I think is 27. Runway 27. Um, yes. Let's reduce the thrust a little bit. Okay, we are going too fast, I think. Let's slow down a little. Slow down, macha, slow down. By the way, we are not contacting the ATC because we don't need to. It's just fine. We'll do it without the ATC for now. We are heading straight to our runway. This is the holding path. If the ATC had asked me to hold short of runway, I would have stood here. But for now, I'm the king of the land. And we'll take a good turn, align ourselves with the runway, and halt. Yes, I can take a halt now. Before we start off with the takeoff, we'll need to do a few things. Not necessarily, but then it's a good idea to do it. Maybe we'll not even use it, but it's just good. So what I need to do is I need to set my heading to 270 so that I can quickly set it up कि अरे मुझे इस direction में जाना है when the time comes. Actually, I think it's 284. It's not even 270. पिछली बार मैं सही जा रहा था. I'll change my speed to this. Need to set my flight director on, auto thrust on. Autopilot अभी हम on नहीं करेंगे. ठीक है. And we are good to fly. So now I need to run on the runway and take a lift. I mean, not a lift, a lift. So let's start to increase our thrust. I like that sound. Release the parking brake, and we are starting. So a Boeing 737 I think is also I need to set my flaps to 5 degrees so that I get a good lift. A good speed for Boeing to take a lift off is around 150 knots, 140 knots, I guess, 140, yeah, I suppose. So we'll try to be as close as possible to that speed and then take a lift, which is called rotate. We'll rotate. Ta-da, ta-da. We are two on the sides of the runway. Let's get to the center on the border. Shouldn't be doing that. $80 knots.
80 knots.
Yes. Check. We are still on the runway. We are yet to take a lift, just in case you didn't realize. We are around 105 knots right now, which is not a good speed to take off. I think though we can, but I'll still let the speed go a bit higher. And I think we can take a lift now. Rotate. Increase the thrust a little bit.
Plus 3.
And we are off the ground. Landing gear pulled up. Speed looks good. We are ascending, crossing 200 feet.
400.
400 feet now. Looks good. We can actually reduce our thrust a little bit.
1,000.
So we have had a successful takeoff. All now we need to do is stabilize the flight a little bit and move to autopilot. So for that, I just need to ensure that my flight is a little stable. What that means is that it is not going up or down too fast. It's not in a non-decisive mode. Okay, let me see if I can work the autopilot right now. Not sure now. Okay, I can't do the autopilot right now because if you see, my altitude is increasing at a very nasty rate. What I need to do is I need to have this at a stable state, and also my speed. So maybe I'll put the speed on. This is not part of the autopilot. I can still reduce the speed even if my autopilot is not on. I'll change the speed to, I think, 170 knots should be okay. Once we are on 170 knots and our altitude is a little better, let me control it. We are already at we have crossed 2,500 feet. Good. Yes. Yes, so we are in a stable state right now. Let's see if autopilot works. Yes, autopilot has started off. And now I can rest in peace. I don't need to control the plane much. All I need to do is set the heading selector, which is 285, and set it on. So now my plane will start heading to 284. And right now we are at 600. We just have to climb at 6,000, which is good enough. Actually, 6,000 nahi na, 8,000 kiya tha. So let's set this to 8,000. And we will reach 8,000 in some time. Ta-da! So this is it for now. If you like this, do let me know. I will probably make a few more of them. समा है सुहाना सुहाना दिल ना चुराने का मेरा मौसम बहार